That's enough integrity is anywhere. The choice between convenience and often mindful. For today's gathering, we will emphasize the value of integrity and sharing the message in activation we tolerated live via the SBO Pampanga Facebook page. Welcome to the SBO Advocacy and Promoting Academy through online lecture and roundtable discussion. Before we formally begin, of course, I would just like to greet everybody a Merry Friday afternoon, TGIF.
last Friday of October, and we have this kind of vacation vibe kasi 'di ba All Saints Day na po sa mga susunod na araw, and we really have this kind of atmosphere that we really want to have a good reunion with our family, and at the same time we really want to have good memories and balik-balikan po natin lahat ng mga magagandang alaala natin sa ating mga namayapang mga pamilya. So this is the moment for that. And also, it's 57 days before Christmas na po. No? Maligayang Pasko po sa ating lahat. And one of the essence of this season is that we remain true and honest at service for the public. I hope everyone is ready for this auspicious event. Before we formally begin, let us have our preliminaries. Let us join together for the singing of a Makabayan song to be followed by an invocation. Roll VTR.
Sa dilim ng karimlan, nabalot ng kalungkutan itong aking inang bayan. Batbat ng kalumbayan sa loob ng 300, inangkilang kasuktulan. Pagtangis ang tanging nalaman nitong lupang sinilangan. Sumibol ang kaliwanagan, pag-asa'y biglang nasilayan. Winagayway ang kalayaan, bunga ng kadakilaan. Sa himpapawid ay lipan, kahit sa dagat mapapal. Itinasyaring palad ng bayan kong walay katulad. Nang makamit ang kasarinlan, mga gawin na kagisnan, kultura'y pinaghusayan, sumabog ang kagalakan, kasiyahang dala ng bayanihan, kaisahan ang nilalarawan, pamilya'y buklod sa tahanan, masayang sama-sama sa hapunan, pagkilala sa delikadesa ng isang dalagang Filipina. Pangakong na isang salita, palabra de honor ay sapat. Itong aking bayan na sinakop ng karimlan, bumangon at lumaban ng kultura'y mapayaman. Rambughaw mong kalayaan at apoy ng kabayanihan, ang 3 bituin ng karitan, isang araw ng kasinagan. Ingatan ay telas sa aming puso'y bumihag, mananatiling may liwanag itong bayang Pilipinas. Mananatiling may liwanag itong bayang Pilipinas.
Lord of wisdom, source of intelligence, we welcome you to this auspicious gathering, an august moment for the pursuit of knowledge that is offered for the glory of your name. We do not wish to ask you more than just you joining us today, but we look forward to your heavenly grace, to amplify the desire for truth, to look up for and become prudent to learning. Keep us grounded in your love and mercy, as we traverse a challenging path to keeping the inclination of understanding you and your most awe-inspiring creation. Be with us, O Lord, and descend your Spirit on us. to maintain an earnest desire for knowledge, truth, and understanding you, the guide of the wise, the stronghold of the learned. This we ask through Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Once again, a merry Friday afternoon, everyone. It's the 29th of October. Time check is 13 minutes down the hour of 2 in the afternoon, and I'm just so excited for this event because this is for everyone. And kaway-kaway po sa ating mga tagapanood sa FB Live. It's just so nice to end October with a blast. At ano nga ba yung blast na yun? Ito po ay yung event na ito kasi it's a good reiteration of the great value that we uphold in the Division Office of Pampanga, which is, of course, academic honesty. According to Worcester Polytechnic Institute, academic honesty is a foundational element of learning and a fundamental principle of all academic institutions. So today, we have to remind ourselves of academic honesty that SDO Pampanga promotes and support. And of course, our acknowledgement to the leaders who are the promoter of academic honesty in SDO Pampanga, starting off with our napakagaling to. Ayan, talagang honest na ating ama, ang ating Schools Division Superintendent, Engineer Edgar C. Domingo, PhD, CESO 5. Of course, our two vibrant and of course with upholding academic honesty, Assistant Schools Division Superintendents, Dr. Shirley B. Zipagan and Dr. Melissa S. Sanchez. And of course, our two cells, ayan, ng ating SDO Pampanga, Dr. Arcely S. Lopez, the Chief of SGOD, and Dr. Celia Arlacanlale, the CID Chief. And of course, kudos to the people behind this program, this successful organization of this event. Of course, Dr. Bernadette Lejarde, Sir Jason M. Santos, Ma'am Christine Marie U. Santos, and Sir John Paul B. Palyasike, the team management of this program. And syempre, welcome at palakpakan para sa ating mga participants watching at our DepEd Tayo SDO Pampanga Facebook page. Live na live po. Welcome sa ating mga education program supervisors, EPSS, public schools district supervisors, PSDSS, school heads, education program specialists, handling special curricular programs, and of course for those that promote academic honesty. Kaya talagang ito ay napapanahon para sa ating lahat. And to formally welcome us all, let us hear a welcome remarks for the academic honest people. Of course, she's really the supporter of this. Talagang inuulit-ulit niya ito sa kanyang salita at gawa. Please welcome our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Shirley B. Zipagan.
Isang magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. My greetings to our Schools Division Superintendent, Engineer Edgar C. Domingo, ang atin pong kapartner, Dr. Melissa Sanchez, our ASDS, and of course, ang dalawang cell natin, katulad ng sinabi ni Ma'am Tin kanina, no? Ma'am Nicole, ang ating CID Chief, Ma'am Celia Lacanlale, and of course, ang ating ESCOD Chief, Ma'am Arcely Santos. And this will not be possible, this very good initiative of our SDO Pampanga without our team players, no? Yung ating team, very good team. Dr. Bernadette Lejarde, Sir Jason Santos, Ma'am Christine, and of course, the platform that we are using right now, ang ating ITO, Sir John Palyasike. What is this, what we call I forgot to mention yung mga kasama natin dito, our PSDSS. Magandang hapon po. EPSS, no, ang ating mga specialist nandito rin. Magandang hapon po. Perhaps even our school heads, nakikita ko sila sa platform natin. Isang magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Welcome po dito sa ating online platform, lecture, and an open forum for the academic honesty that we would like to push in SDO Pampanga. What is it all about academic honesty that we would like to be clarified and be enlightened relative to learning delivery? So sabi natin, ang academic honesty is all about the integrity, not only of our school heads, not only of our teachers, not only of our learners, but most importantly, our parents. No? When we talk of academic honesty, it redounds to being truthful, being honest, the integrity and dignity of how we will deliver the teaching learning process. I have read a lot of schools division who already initiated and spearheaded different capacity building and even trainings on how we could really inculcate and institutionalize academic honesty among our learners and parents during this time of pandemic and even after pandemic. No? Even though we will be having this face-to-face, still it is very important that we instill values formation and academic honesty among our community and stakeholders. So why is it important to have academic honesty? Perhaps later all of those will be discussed. But as I was going over the copy which was furnished to us by our CID Chief Mamsel, I was trying to reflect. What is really the purpose? What is the expected output out of this advocacy? So perhaps it will redound to how accurate and how certain are we of the assessment tools that we use during the teaching learning process, and are we certain that all the responses and answers that are placed in our modules are parallel with what our learners really learn? And how can we ascertain, or how can we be assured that it is really our learners who are learning and not our parents? No, maganda sana kung both, no. Kasi as you teach, you also learn, di ba? Ganun tayo. And of course, it will also tackle later perhaps the mechanism. What would be the input, the process, and the output that is effective in our locality or in our community? And perhaps we could come up with what we call the feedback mechanism. And perhaps we could also consider the evaluation of the effectiveness of our assessment tool. And in this case, when we go to this particular activity, we will be able to establish really, no, what is the role of our school head, of our teacher, of our learner, and our parents in the teaching delivery non-face-to-face. Perhaps SDO Pampanga has already given you quite a lot because as I recall, our CID already spearheaded this what we call contextualization and localization of assessment tools for the different learning areas, which in turn would benefit learners and teachers alike would benefit. Ano pa? We would be able to craft a localized and contextualized tool that will be used in the delivery of learning. And all of those redounds to, no, the impact that we are trying to come up with is yung tinatawag nilang integrity and dignity of the DepEd system. No? So siguro po later malilinawan tayo dun sa mga katanungan, tapos masasagot natin ng sama-sama at tulong-tulong para po this school year we will be assured of a very good learning delivery. So muli po ang pasasalamat natin sa ating CID team for spearheading this the conduct of this online advocacy po, no, ng ating academic honesty, and of course the people behind this activity. Muli, we welcome you, we thank you, no. Gawin po natin na maging productive ang ating open forum na to. We will get bits and pieces of the best practices that we could possibly apply, and isa puso natin yung ating mapag-aaralan. Kasi po, sabi nga nila, yung learning, it could be learned, unlearned, and relearned. Pero when the heart remembers, it remembers forever. No? So sana, isa puso at isa isip natin yung matututunan natin ngayong araw na ito. Muli po, isang magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Thank you so much to our very own Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Shirley B. Zipagan. Thank you so much for the reminders that we have to be very productive on this event, and of course to really manifest our academic honesty, not just in our research but also in everything that we do academically, dahil we influence the nation builders, which are our learners. Kaya maraming salamat po, Dr. Shirley. You're still with us at SDO Pampanga Advocacy in promoting academic honesty through online lecture and roundtable discussion. This is very different from the usual webinars because this will become more interactive, and if you have so many things to ask, to clarify, to share with us, of course, this is the time para naman i-share po ninyo sa amin iyan. And later on, we will be having an open forum, a roundtable, virtual roundtable discussion with the leaders. But for now, of course, it is just and right to listen to an inspirational message that will be given to us by our very own good leader, promoter of academic honesty. Talagang siya rin po ang isa sa mga nag-spearhead ng event na ito. Please welcome and let's hear his inspirational message, our school's division superintendent, none other than Engineer Edgar C. Domingo. Virtual clap for him.
Yeah, good afternoon, Liz. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me clearly?
Loud and clear po.
Yeah, thank you. So muli, no, mayap agat panapon, kaya katamungan, kareng talaturunan ng SDO Pampanga, kareng supervisors, kareng district supervisors, and syempre, kareng kaya katamong aduang Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, ASDS Melissa and ASDS Shirley, ang po kareng kaya katamong aduang chief, SGOD chief tamo, Ma'am Sel, Ma'am Arceli, at saka Ma'am Celia naning CID, no? Siyempre, to the organizers, no? Congratulations of this webinar this afternoon. Well, actually, honestly speaking, I was not able to prepare something for this afternoon's webinar, no? Pero I'm just thinking of what to say a while ago. And then it reminds me of a story that I heard before. Meron daw dalawang magkumpare. Tagal na sila magkakilala. At yung isa, sabi niya, pare, di nagkita sila. Tanong niya sa kanyang kumpare, pare, matagal na tayo magkakilala, di ba? Sabi niya, oo naman. Tapos, so, pwede pa kitang tanungin tungkol sa aking katangian, anong pagkakakilala mo sa akin? Well, ikaw ay mabait, masunurin, matiyaga. Ano pang katangian, pare, ang pagkakaalam mo sa akin, sabi niya. Nagsisimula ito sa letter A. Letter A, di nag-isip mo yung kumpare niya. Siguro adorable. Hindi pare, sabi. Hindi. Angelic? Hindi pare, hindi. O sige na nga, Sirit. Sabi nitong isang kumpare, sabi niya, hindi, kasi alam mo pare, sabi ng nanay ko, ako daw ay honest. Yes, honest. Yun daw kasi letter A daw honest, Kapampangan pala siya. Anyway, totoo yun, no? Ang honesty ay wala sa spelling, wala sa pagbigkas, kung hindi ay nasa gawa. Di ba? Mapa nasa eskwelahan tayo, mapa nasa trabaho, kahit saan man. Di ba? Maganda yung naipractice natin, yung pagiging honest natin sa ating sarili at sa ating mga kasamahan. Lalong-lalo na sa ating paaralan, sa ating bahay. No? Noong last year, nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic at naging imposible na magkaroon ng face-to-face classes. Kaya yung ating mga estudyante, binigyan ng module at nag-aaral sa bahay. No? Mga teachers, kinukuha yung modules, chinecheck, sa bahay din, minsan sa paaralan. Pero ito nga isang naging issue. Paano nga natin masisigurado yung integrity ng mga sinasagot ng mga bata, no, na mga takdang aralin or mga exams, at paano rin natin masisiguro yung integrity ng mga chinecheck na mga exams, na mga papel ng ating mga kaguruan. Kaya nga, meron tayo ngayong talakayan para pag-usapan kung paano nating ma-i-ensure yung integrity, no? Yung pagiging honest ng ating mga both, mga estudyante, mga magulang, mga mag-aaral, mga magulang, mga guro, mga supervisors, tayo rin, no? Paano natin isasabuhay yung pagiging honest natin. So kaya nga, it is expected na lahat, no, ay matalakay dito sa ating talakayan, no? Sa ating lecture this afternoon, nang sa ganun ay magkaroon tayo ng pagkakaisa at mga alituntunin kung paano natin mapalakas, no, yung integridad, yung pagiging honest ng ating mga mag-aaral, ng ating mga guro, ng mga empleyado ng SDO Pampanga, ng mga magulang, tayong lahat, no? So siguro I challenge everyone na makinig, tapusin at makipagtalakayan, no? Makishare dito sa ating webinar, nang sa ganon ay maging maunlad ang ating pag-uusap. So sa lahat, no, muli mayap gat panapon kaya katamungan, may everyone stay safe sana at lagi tayong manatiling malusog. So muli, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
Thank you so much to the inspirational message that you have given us, to our Schools Division Superintendent, Engineer Edgard C. Domingo, of course, and yun nga po, at the backstage of our platform, tawa po kami ng tawa no? Medyo nag-lag lang ng konti about dun sa honest. Kasi sanay na po kami na walang age. Tayong mga Kapampangan talaga no? Walang age. At merong ding age kung wala naman. Okay, so nakakatawa talaga. And thank you so much for the afternoon laugh and joke. And of course, reminder for the importance of academic honesty, not just with the leaders, but also on how we can influence our learners. Because, you know, when we become academic dishonest, learners are also deprived of the opportunity to gain a confident command of the material they are credited with knowing. So, of course, it's also making a bad record regarding sa DepEd na rin as a whole. So, at this moment, it is time for us to really get to know the objectives objectives of this event. So bakit nga ba tayo meron ganitong pagtitipon? Of course, the first is to differentiate academic honesty and dishonesty, explain the different forms of academic dishonesty, and share immediate actions to protect academic integrity and ensure the veracity of learners' assessment results. And without further ado, I am now giving you a recorded video of what is academic honesty. It will be given to us by the EPS of CLMD of DepEd Region 3. Let's give it up for Dr. Rosalinda Ibarra.
Yes, Ma'am Rose.
Okay, sige po. So let's start. My warmest greetings to our Regional Director, Dr. May B. Eclar, our ARD, Dr. Roda Tirason, the HRDD Chief, Dr. William Bacani, to all my colleagues in the regional office, our SDSS, ASDSS, CID Chiefs, and EPSS and PSDSS, and all others present in this virtual platform. Good afternoon po sa ating lahat. Okay, so let me just check po first my Is it okay with you? My presentation, kita po?
Yes po, Ma'am Rose.
Yes po. Okay. Let's now start. Let me continue the many activity by sharing with you a borrowed comic strip with the title Academic Honesty, What is Expected of You. Let me read what is written in the convo, or what we call the chat balloon. Okay, so what are you doing? Posting homework answers on the internet. What for? Unlike Hollywood and the recording industry, I view online copying as a good thing. Soon, through the magic of peer-to-peer file sharing, kids the world over will have ready-to-use solutions to every questions in my textbook, and there's not a thing teachers can do to stop it. Isn't it great? This is so unlike you, Jason. How so? Usually, you're precariously competitive about your grades. You misunderstand. These aren't the correct answer. The comic strip that I have just shown you is telling us about the most recent controversy that is publicized in one social media platform. It talks about the existence of Facebook pages that promote cheating among our learners. DepEd denounced academic dishonesty after it received reports of learners cheating during the pandemic. While education is done through different learning delivery modalities, the agency is exhausting all possible means to stop the activities, which include tapping social media platforms. In order to reiterate its stand on maintaining academic dishonesty while upholding every learner's integrity, Department Memorandum Number 395, Series 2021, titled Promoting Academic Honesty, was released last September 20 and tasked the agency's regional offices to take immediate action and to make sure that learners' assessment results are accurate. This emphasized that DepEd does not and will not tolerate any form of academic dishonesty. And this is the reason why we are convened this afternoon. To start, the following points must be always underscored in all possible means. First is academic honesty. Is a foundational element of learning and a fundamental principle of all academic institutions. Violation of the principle deprives learners of the opportunity to gain a confident command of the material they are credited with knowing. And this is called from www.wpi.edu. It also degrades the learning process and demean the learning quality that department is committed to promote. Academic dishonesty, on the other hand, is defined as any conduct that obstructs the evaluation of a learner's progress by misrepresenting the work being assessed and evaluated, as well as the learner's actual knowledge. So there are different forms or many forms of academic dishonesty according to Whitley and Keith Spiegel, which can be broadly classified as follows. Tingnan po natin ha kung ano tong mga ito. First, we have cheating. Cheating is defined as an authorized use of information, materials, devices, sources, or practices in completing academic activities. Example, copying another learner's answers during a test that should be done separately is considered cheating. Similarly, a learner who allows another learner to copy his or her work is deemed to be aiding or contributing to cheating. So maliwanag po ha, nangongopya at nagpapakopya ay parehong form ng cheating. They are partners or accomplice in crime. Next form po is plagiarism. Plagiarism is a form of cheating in which someone takes another person's ideas, words, design, art, music, or other works and passes them off as their own without acknowledging the source or, if necessary, seeking permission from the author. Plagiarism usually done when you copy in toto. We usually heard this word. Copy-paste, another's work. Usually, written work like research paper. Ang kadalasan po kasi natin na nariringgan na ginagamit ang salitang plagiarism, and I hope you will agree with me, ay yung mga research paper. Pero hindi lang research paper. Sama po dyan yung mga design, yung mga music, yung mga arts. Kasama pa rin po dyan. I'd like to share with you a good news that we have heard from one of our secondary school when we had our SBM level 3 validation. I'd like to name the SDO para naman po nakaka-boost ng moral naman sa bawat isa po sa atin. Actually, nakita po namin ito sa Kabanatuan SDO. According to the teacher in research, they were able to tie up and coordinate and collaborate and seek help from universities and private HEIs in their locality, which let them use their plagiarism checker software like 13 and PlugScan. Free of charge po iyon. This is one of the best practices of that school that I definitely say worthy of emulation and help us address the issue of plagiarism. Let's go to the third form. Fabrication or falsification. Fabrication or falsification involves the unauthorized creation or change of information in an academic work or activity. For example, artificially creating data when it should be collected from an actual experiment or inventing a source of information that does not exist is considered fabrication or falsification. Sugarcoating data is a form of fabrication or falsification. Minsan nagdadagdag, minsan nagbabawas. There are those who really fabricate data just to be able to beat the deadline of submission. Minsan, para lang po may maipasa tayo. Alam ko, meron dito tatamaan, pero minsan nagagawa din po, no? Tumitingala sa langit at wala. Meron na pong datos. Next form po natin is sabotage. Sabotage is the act of interfering with or damaging another person's work to prevent that person from successfully completing an academic task. Destroying someone else's artwork, experiment, or design, for example, is considered sabotage. Failure to contribute as required to a team project can also be considered academic sabotage. Yan. Minsan po naalala ko, there was a time na nagpa-collect ang isang guro sa isang estudyante. Nakita nung estudyante ang magandang gawa ng kanyang kamag-aral, nakakompetensya niya sa honor roll. Alam niyo po ang ginawa ng estudyante na nangolekta? Hindi niya po ito ipinasa kay teacher. Yung katunggali na, yung trabaho ng kanyang katunggali, alam niyo pong nangyari, bawas ang grade ng katunggali kasi nga late na siya. This is a form of sabotage. Kaya po pag minsan din yung ating mga estudyante, maliwanag sana sa kanila when they are in a group and when they are asked or tasked to go on and have and to do some projects, dapat po bigay nila yung kanilang best shots at dapat sila ay sumama sa pagtatrabaho ng mga proyekto na naiatas sa kanila bilang isang grupo. Next form po is the contract cheating. Contract cheating is another form of academic dishonesty which may happen in any of the following situations, according to Gorenko 2020. First is unpaid assistance from friends or family members to complete the work in place of the learners. Second, a paper that has been taken from a free essay website and it's being used as the learner's own work. And third, an academic assignment done for a fee by a third-party service. There are really learners who are only copying essays posted in the internet. Ako po, meron akong experience na ganito. Napakadali po kasing gumawa ngayon talaga ng essay. Hindi lang essay, kahit na po siguro mga narrative reports, madaling gawin yan. Kasi sabi nga po everything is just one click away. Our learners' mantra today and even us. Di mo alam, i-Google mo. Let's go to the next form. Okay, so we're done with that. So ilan po yung ating Ilan po yung ating mga forms of academic dishonesty? We have cheating, plagiarism, fabrication or falsification, sabotage, and the last one is contract cheating. As self-directed learning materials, the self-learning modules or SLMs are given to learners to allow them to manage their learning through the different formative assessments. Although these are not graded and are used to monitor learning progress and prepare learners for summative assessment, cheating on the answers to the SLMs has become prevalent online. I heard one nanay telling her daughter, "Naku anak, pinahihirapan mo pa sarili mo. Nasa likod ang mga sagot, kopyahin mo na lang." I know you will agree with me. Tama po ba ito? Although activities in our SLMs are not graded, but results from these activities are very much needed because our teachers can utilize them for making academic decisions. Decisions like, will I go to the next lesson or will I reteach? Kapag ang mga bata po natin ay umaasa na lamang na mangopya sa answer key sa likod ng SLMs, panigurado, walang matututunan yan at for sure, siya ang talo sa labanan kung pagkamit ng edukasyon ang pag-uusapan. While the SLMs have key to correction as an inherent feature of self-instructional materials, it is not intended to be used to cheat and bypass authentic learning. Regardless of the design of the SLMs and the extent of freedom in the online space, cheating cannot be justified under any circumstance. To eradicate this form of cheating, the regional offices are highly encouraged. Of course, we also encourage our SDOs to take the following immediate actions to protect academic integrity and ensure the veracity of learners' assessment results. First, we have to conduct orientation with parents to raise awareness on the existence of the FB pages that promote cheating, encourage their support against awareness on the existence of the FB pages that promote cheating, encourage their support against
Okay, so while we are still waiting for the rest of the video, I hope everyone is taking down notes para mamaya kung ano pa po yung mga hindi pa po natin na grasp or meron pa po tayong mga katanungan, ay maaari na po nating ihanda at itanong mamaya po sa ating virtual roundtable discussion. And of course, our Assistant Schools Division Superintendents will be with us alongside with the two chiefs po, si Ma'am Sel ng SGOD and of course, si Ma'am Sel ulit ng CID. So maraming salamat po. And of course, I myself am not part of the EPSS. Hindi rin po ako school head. Isa lamang po akong magandang nilalang. Ayan, pero nag-gets ko po and I really appreciate the video that is being shared to us by Dr. Rosalinda Ibarra. And of course, we're still with yan, nawala tuloy ako kasi naisip ko maganda talaga ako eh. All right, so now let's go back to the video. Patalastas lamang po ito, and now let's roll the VTR.
At the same time, ang siguradong skills that will be developed would only be copying skills po lamang. Next, ensure proactive transparency of the assessment and grading system to parents and learners in order to promote understanding of the purpose of formative assessment in the SLMs. Our parents and learners should know the reason why there is an answer key at the back of the SLMs. Ito ay upang malaman nila on their own at ma-assess nila ang kanilang mga sarili kung meron nga po silang natutunan doon sa mga topics na nakapaloob sa modules. Since modules are self-directed, the answer key will help them to go and will help them to know whether they got the correct answers or not. And they can go back and practice more until such time that they can get the correct answer. And letter C, monitor the learner's online activity and warn them against membership in any online cheating platform. Ito po medyo mahirap to, no? This one is very difficult, but I'm hoping that we can really develop mechanism on how to monitor the learners' online activities. We really need to capacitate our teachers on learning management system. Along with this, yung pong knowledge po ng ating mga kaguruan on different software or application gaya po ng Moodles na pwede pong maging means to really monitor and be able to observe honesty in the online platform. Actually po, nagkaroon kami ng virtual kumustahan, we have noticed na meron na po tayong mga teachers, especially in the secondary school, na marunong po at maalam sa LMS at sa mga iba pa pong software at application or apps na talagang makakatulong to monitor really and to be able to observe honesty dun po sa online platform na ginagamit natin. We are hoping also that our teachers in the elementary level will likewise be capacitated on this. Next po is encourage teachers to write up a contract about academic dishonesty and explain the contents to the learners and parents and have them both sign the contract. Then, if a learner is caught cheating, the teacher can pull out the contract and act accordingly. Ibalik ko po kayo dun sa kwento ko sa virtual and online kumustahan. Meron po kaming narinig na mga SDOs na gumagamit na po nito. This is actually a kind of agreement or contract. Kontrata po siya, parang in a form of oath actually, among the teachers and the learners and their parents, attesting to the authenticity of their answers in the exercises or assessments. And they don't just copy them from the internet and from other people. Parents and learners affix their signatures bilang patunay. Next po, develop self-learning activities or the learning activity sheets that require learners to analyze information, craft creative presentations, or explain their thinking. This can be validated by the SDO or school learning resource team. Teachers must craft LAS or LIS that has activities not always using objective types of questions like multiple choice in their assessment part. Dapat po meron tayong mga parts where students think for themselves, one that encourage our learners to engage in deeper analysis of activity given. So they will not have the chance to cheat. Example po nito, performance tasks or performance-based projects, essay types. Yung pong PISA type tests, they fall under analyzing information. Okay. Actually, meron na po tayong mga capacity building regarding this. Naturuan na po yung ibang mga kaguruan natin on how to construct PISA type tests. Next po is incorporate other assessment schemes such as doing an online assessment during class. And this is only possible, I know, with those learners that has access on internet connectivity. Next po is creating multiple versions of tests. Tests given are by sets. I-group po natin yung mga mag-aaral natin. Iba yung nasa isang grupo na assessment doon po sa kabilang grupo. Randomizing test items for students to work on. Let's assign particular test items for our students to work. Hindi po yung pare-pareho sila. And of course, let's present questions just once to avoid retracing of previous answers. And last, using peer feedback or allowing learners to assess each other's work. Student awareness of their mistake through their friends' opinions, foster collaborations, and reduces anxiety. Peer feedback enlightens student awareness of the similar difficulties and weaknesses peers encounter and eventually motivates and builds their self-confidence, reducing anxiety. Okay. Next po is create TV and radio programs that promote honesty and integrity to be aired on a specific schedule. There should be motivational programs for learners as well as for parents or guardians. These programs may be aired using their own mother tongue. And next, encourage schools to build a support group for parents to ensure that they are instilling the values of honesty and integrity in their children, which will be facilitated by the PTA. Support group means po, we bring together people who are going through or have gone through similar experiences. A support group provides an opportunity for people to share their personal experiences, their feelings, their coping strategies, or first-hand information. We can tap our PTA, of course, barangay and SK officials. Okay, letter I po, let's intensify academic consultations through any available modes of communication such as online, call, text, and others. These are proactive, not punitive strategies. Dapat po open ang communication lines for academic consultation. If merong hindi naiintindihan ang mga learners natin, madali po sanang makonsulta ang mga guro. And dapat po hindi lamang naririyan ang mga guro at pwedeng kausapin kapag face-to-face. Sana kahit po ngayon, dapat ang communication line teacher ay laging open. Meron nga po akong narinig na joke Nakapost nga po ito sa isang Facebook page. Sabi ni teacher, okay lang magtanong, okay lang mag-text, huwag lang during 12 midnight. Tao si teacher, hindi aswang. But definitely po, syempre naman dapat patulugin natin si teacher. But of course, ang gusto naming puntusan dito, open po ang communication natin, communication line natin. Letter J, include academic integrity in the inset capacity building programs that may serve as avenues for teachers to identify teaching actions and attitude that push the students to cheat. Our teachers must likewise be capacitated in terms on how they can likewise foster honesty and integrity from among his or her learners. There are some teachers po kasi who are not so considerate. Pag nagbigay ng mga activities, sandamakmak, na kung minsan will entice our learners to really commit dishonesty like copying others' work. And to be able to beat the deadline, yan, kopya dito, kopya doon, para meron po silang maipasa on time. And letter K, direct all schools to prioritize the development of programs and school rules and regulation that promote academic integrity to reduce or eradicate the incidence of cheating. Let us include these standards in the student handbook or in our school rules and regulations. Offer recommendations on the improvement and transparency of the policy guidelines on assessment and grading system to ease the pressure on competition. Transparency means that it will be clear to students how they will be assessed and based on what criteria. Examples include the manner in which assignments need to be submitted, deadlines, the assessment procedure, and how the final mark will be calculated. You can use different platforms as an avenue to inform the public, like FB page, leaflet, brochure, talking about this during virtual or online General Assembly PTA meetings. The department recognizes the limitations of managing assessments in the current learning setup. However, teachers, parents, and school heads are highly encouraged to seek out opportunities to teach academic integrity among learners and discourage them from feeding on laziness and instant gratification, as this will generate devastating effects on their values. Nonetheless, when dealing with academic dishonesty, teachers, parents, and school heads should use caution, exercise good judgment, and treat learners with respect and fairness. These are the references that we have used for this topic. And I'd like to end this lecture with this: no to academic dishonesty. Salamat po at
Maraming salamat po for sharing with us a very practical and relatable ways on how we can really grasp the principles of academic honesty. Tunay nga na ang academic honesty nagsisimula yan sa mga guro, sa mga leaders, and of course, it will be passed on to the learners as well. So we really have to have the principles, the strictness, the considerations as well. So it's actually a balance. All right. So thank you so much, Dr. Rosalinda Ibarra, our EPSCLMD from the Department of Education, Region 3. Time check, it's 3 minutes down the hour of 3 in the afternoon, and this is the highlight of today's activity, which is the Roundtable virtual discussion in promoting academic honesty. And to give you the very credible and academic honest individuals to facilitate this, let's now have Dr. Bernadette Lejarde and of course Sir Jason Santos.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Nerys. Okay po, no? So happy and grace-filled afternoon to everyone. I am humbled and blessed to be part of our today's roundtable discussion on the SDO Pampanga Advocacy in promoting academic honesty. And of course, it is such a privilege to be with my co-moderator for this afternoon, the ever hardworking Senior Education Program Specialist, Human Resource Development, Sir Jason M. Santos. Sir Jay?
Hello, good afternoon to everyone. I'd like to give my warmest greetings likewise to everyone present in this activity. And it's indeed also a pleasure, Ma'am Det, to be with you, facilitating this roundtable discussion relative to our activity, which is promoting academic honesty in our SDO.
Hey, I'm pretty sure, Sir Jason, that our participants already jotted down notes and questions while listening to the video recorded lecture of Dr. Rosalinda S. Ibarra, the EPS CLMD of DepEd Region 3. So we do encourage our live participants to use the comment or chat pin for their questions or concerns. But before that, we would like to introduce, of course, the members of the roundtable discussion who will be answering our participants' questions. Of course, our school's division superintendent, Engineer Edgar C. Domingo, our assistant school's division superintendent, Dr. Melissa S. Sanchez and Dr. Shirley B. Sipagan, our SGOD Chief, Dr. Arcely S. Lopez, and our CID Chief, Dr. Celia R. Lacanlale. Sir Jason, let us start the ball rolling, and please do the honor of asking the first set of questions.
Yes, Ma'am Det, thank you so much. Before that, let me give my greetings to our panelists this afternoon joining us in this round table. You know what? This is very seldom, that we put together the top management in this particular activity. This is very exciting on our part. I really can feel the excitement. Well, of course, I guess all our listeners watching our FB Live are also likewise excited of this discussion. And I would like to believe that this will be a very fruitful one, because this is something we'll look forward to, a discussion on academic honesty. Earlier, we have captured questions coming from different areas or a different level of governance sa ating pong discussion. And I think meron na rin tayong mga prevailing questions prior to the discussion, ano, nung lumabas pa lang ang memorandum natin for academic honesty, roundtable and lecture. I know meron na rin mga questions, and before that there are really frequently asked questions regarding academic honesty, ano. So now this is a very good avenue aside from the captured questions a while back, ano, and earlier. We can still have our chat box, ano, to mention our questions there. Let us take the most out of it, ano, so that our questions, something yung mga umiikot-ikot or gray areas that has something to do with our topic for this afternoon will be given, ano po, answers coming directly from the mouth of our top management, ano po. So we will be getting the most out of it. So we captured questions from the learners, Ma'am Det, ano, from teachers, from the parents, and as well as from the principals. And we will be starting capturing questions from the learners, ano po. So our very first question, my dear ASDSS, Ma'am Mel, Ma'am She, and our two chiefs, Ma'am Arcely and Ma'am Celia, pwede po kayong sumagot. Whoever wants to answer the question, ano, you can turn on your microphone to answer the question. And you have something to add, ano, doon sa naging kasagutan ng ating pong kasama, ay maaari din po nating erase po iyon dito. So are you ready? This is our very first question coming from our learners, ano? And this is really direct, ano, from the academic honesty discussion a while back. Napakaganda ng unang tanong. Sabing ganon, is seeking help from my parents in answering difficult and unfamiliar questions in my modules a form of academic dishonesty? Yan po yung tanong. So, who wants to answer the first question?
Siya parang nagte-test din tayo.
Yung paghingi ng tulong sa aking mga magulang ay academic dishonesty ba ito?
Hindi.
Nararanasan ko kasi yan sa aking anak. Sa aking grade na anak.
Who wants to answer? Ma'am She, would you like to answer the question?
Yes, sige po. Since nakaka-relate ako ng bonggang-bongga, no? Dahil meron akong isang grade 9 who's having an online learning, no? So, natural lamang na ang mga bata maka-encounter ng difficulties, especially if they haven't encountered yet the content, the theory, and the topic per se, no? Ngayon, do we consider yung paghingi na tulong na academic dishonesty? Of course not. Kasi ang mga parents natin ngayon play this very huge role of being both a guardian, a parent, and a teacher rolled or molded into one. No? So, yung paghingi ng tulong ng mga bata ay normal sa isang estudyante. It is yung manner ng pagtuturo ng magulang ang magiging kakaiba dito, no? Kasi yung bata, pag humingi siya ng tulong, Mami, I won't be able to answer this question because I haven't encountered yet this particular topic, and it was not discussed to me, it was not clarified, so I could not answer the question, especially if it is mathematics, no? So, ang isasagot ko sa anak ko, tingnan ko yung lecture. Kasi kahit na math major ako, pag hindi ko tinagal-tagal ko nang hindi nagtuturo ng math, pag hindi ko nakikita yung theories, I won't be able to apply it sa ating solving problem. So, paano ba diniscuss ni teacher? So, yung mga lapses dun sa online learning or yung hindi naintindihan ng bata, that is where I will come in. No? I will give a lot of examples na similar or a bit complex dun sa example ng teacher para mas maintindihan ng anak ko in different aspects or in different perspectives, no? So, hindi siya dishonesty, definitely. Pero kapag ang nanay, sinabi niyang, akin na anak, para hindi ka na mahirapan, ako nagsasagot sa mga tanong na yan. Asan ba lahat yung pinapasagot ng teacher mo? Mag-advance na tayo para pag hindi ka nataruan, may sagot ka na. that is dishonesty, no? Pero yung learning na pupunta sa bata, nakaka-acquire ng learning ang bata, competency, tsaka skill, that is not dishonesty, no? Thank you very much po.
Yes, thank you so much po, Ma'am She, ano po, for that unang tanong pa lang, ano, pero napaka-interesting na, very ano siya, ano po, marami tayong nakukuha dito. Would you like to add something to that answer po of Ma'am Shirley?
I will add.
Yes po, Ma'am Arcely, acknowledge po. Sige, you can proceed po with your...
So, good afternoon po to everyone. Ano? That is not academic dishonesty. Ay, mahina ata ang boses ko. That is not academic dishonesty because in the first place po, when our learners will be encountering difficulty in answering their assignment, it's but natural that they would seek the help and support of their parents. Mandato po ng ating mga magulang ang turuan ang ating mga anak. That is their responsibility because we consider them to be our partners in educating the child. Tama pong sinasabi ni Ma'am Shirley, kapag ikaw ang gumawa at ibinigay mo na lang ang sagot sa bata, yun dishonesty po yun. Pero if you assist him to do the work, to answer the work, that is not academic dishonesty. You are merely providing him the needed assistance and support to those things that he doesn't know. Lalo na po as teachers po tayo, pupunta po sa atin ang ating mga anak at sasabihin, hindi ko po alam ito, hindi ko po masyadong naintindihan sa pag-explain ng aking guro, pwede pong paki-explain para masagot ko po ito. That is but natural for a parent to assist po. At saka po yung wag natin, noon sa natin ko pong seminar, alam po ba ninyo daw na ngayon pa lang nangyayari na ang foremost education ay responsibility ng magulang. Po, secondary lang daw po ang responsibility ng teacher. Pero po yung sa constitution daw po, mandato ng magulang, responsibility niya ang educating the child. Kaya lang po, nung face-to-face, nagbago po yon. Ibinigay lahat sa guro at ang magulang ang nag-take ng second sa pagtuturo sa bata. Pero po sabi po nung isang educator, yun po talaga yung mandato ng magulang. And so today, when we see our parents, particularly today in the new normal education, most of the time, our parents are the one assisting our learners in doing their assignment. And so, instead of, we take advantage of that and we are grateful and appreciative for those efforts exerted by our parents in assisting our learners. That is not dishonesty.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much po, Ma'am Arcely. Ano? So, napakaganda ng mga i-share po ni Ma'am Sel and Ma'am She. Ano? I am reading po the captured questions po, Ma'am Bet. Ano? Before you give the second question, ano, I'd like to add dito sa ating pong tinalakay na unang tanong, ano, kasi we will be jumping to another question. But before that, gusto ko lang, kasi it's not included among this question, pero bibigyan natin siya ng medyo linaw ng konti. Ano, if we consider, ano, yung pag-ask ng tulong sa mga magulang na hindi siya academic dishonesty, baka pwede rin malaman ng mga bata how do they commit academic dishonesty, ano, medyo ilinaw lang natin among the students kung ano yung mga nagagawa nila, because the next question has something to do with doon sa academic dishonesty, Ma'am Beth, is it not? Yung ating pong, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth question, Ma'am Beth, is our next question. Ano, paano ba nakakommit ng academic dishonesty ang ating pong mga bata? Learners po kasi ang area po natin ngayon. Ano? Would you like to answer that? Ma'am, yes po, Ma'am Celia, you're raising your hand po.
Thank you, Sir Jay, and thank you for facilitating this particular activity for SDL Pampanga. And I say my respect to our dear ASDSS who are present and our SDS who might be also watching this program. For me, our learners po can commit really cheating if number one, as discussed by our speaker a while back, if they have copied po, no, cheating, if they have copied answers from their classmates or they let their classmates as well copied, no, from their answers in the test. Another po is when they plagiarize, when they copy and own a particular article or assignment, no, that is not really, or artwork, that is not really theirs. Ne? So kapag kinuha niya, akala natin that is only true in research, but that is also true. No, and in the implementation of the LDM that we have, when learners copy materials not really theirs, then again that is academic dishonesty. Another po na maaari nating mabanggit na they are also being dishonest when they let also their parents answer the different modules, the different assessment activities, both in the written and also performance tasks. When they let parents, guardians, no, ate or kuya to answer for them, then again, that is part and parcel of academic dishonesty. So lahat po yan na-discuss kanina ng ating mismong speaker. No? Another, ano pa yung pwedeng gawin? No? Yung academic sabotaging. Para halimbawa, humahabol niya ng honor roll at gusto niya to maintain his rank as number one, then no, maaring he will be destroying the work of a classmate para po no meron siyang over doon sa kanyang mga kaklase. So maraming mga forms po yung academic dishonesty niyan. And sometimes our learners are not really aware no of these acts. But then they have to be educated and also oriented by their teachers and also their parents. And that's the reason, Sir Jay, no, after this particular activity a while back, I have heard Ma'am She mentioning about the output or the outcome of this activity. Our parents, our teachers po and school heads are encouraged to conduct similar activity to promote academic honesty po no, in the implementation of the different LDMs po in their school. So kailangan din po na magkaroon tayo ng ganitong advocacy at the school level so that everyone po is really highly committed no, in fostering academic honesty. So yun po yung mga examples natin kanina, Sir Jay.
Thank you so much po, Ma'am Sel, for enlightening us once again, especially po our students on how they are committing po academic dishonesty so that they can avoid this one, yung ating pong tinatawag na academic dishonesty. Okay po? Ma'am, yes po, Ma'am Mel, yeah po, it's your turn.
Yeah,
okay
just to
po.
add that, kasi na-capture na ni Ma'am, no, yung 5 na binanggit kanina ni Ma'am Rose Ibarra during the presentation. No? But it's important that we take note of what academic honesty is and what it is not. That first, it is doing your own work. No? Yun yung malinaw para maintindihan ng mga mag-aaral natin. When you do your own work, no? That's academic honesty. And what is ano yung hindi academic honesty? When you are cheating. No? Yun yung sinabi ni Ma'am kanina. So when you are not cheating, so you are kumbaga academically honest. And at the same time, you are not presenting the work of others as your own. So, importante yon kasi kapag ginawa ng magulang, hindi mo na ginawa yon. Pero kapag ipinapasa mo, sinasabi mo na gawa mo yon. So, it becomes academic dishonesty because you are presenting as if it is your own when the truth is it is not because you did not do it. So, the bottom line is doing your own work academically. That's academic honesty.
Yes, thank you so much, Ma'am Mel. Take note of that. We underscore that. If you're doing your own work, okay, that's academic honesty. And you will never go wrong. If you're doing that. Yes po, Ma'am Shirley. Sige po.
We cannot undermine the skills of our learners and their reasoning, no? Their rationale. Baka sabihin nila, Ma'am Mel, no? Napakaganda na sinabi ni Ma'am Mel, we are doing our own work, no? That is doing the right thing. That is academic honesty. But then, sabi nga nila, you are also doing your own work when you search in the Google, you copy paste and place it in your work. That is doing your own work, no? Kaya napaka-importante yung sinabi ni Ma'am Melissa, no? Yung being righteous. Kaya alam nyo ba na ang kakambal ng advocacy na ito, na academic honesty, ay values formation and capacity building as regards, no? As regards academic honesty, both for our learners and our parents alike, no? So thank you very much po.
Thank you so much po, ano. So though this question is coming from the group of learners, ano, this is not only true to our learners, ano, but this is true across sa lahat, ano. So if you are also doing your work as a teacher or your own work, ano, as a teacher, as a school head, or kahit ano po, ano, you are doing academic honesty. Ma'am Det, we go now to the next question. I am giving now the time to my partner. Sige po, go ahead po, Ma'am Det.
Okay, hello Sir Jay. Ayan, naririnig po ako.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay, thank you so much. So, this time naman po from the group of teachers. Okay po, no? The question po ay, what strategies or techniques can we employ to foster academic honesty among our students? Po, no? So, what strategies or techniques can we employ to foster academic honesty among our students? Okay po, Ma'am Sel.
A while back, it was already discussed by our speaker, and I agree with her that in the giving of examinations, we make a variety of assessment tools. No, like for example, following also the what we call in the interest, needs, and abilities of our learners. This is the competency, and we can design different assessment activities as well meant, for the different learners, and that is part of the division training that we had, no, our two batches 2 batches ago. So sabi ni Sir Dexter, no, we have to prepare contextualized assessment tools for our learners, and the competencies, no, can be again, no, reflected in the different ways meant for the learning styles and multiple intelligences of our learners. So pwede naman, this is the competency, and then we again, try to suit the abilities of our learners, no, in terms of the variation of activities. And then pwede natin, whenever we prepare also multiple tests, one way, of again ensuring that there will be academic honesty is to prepare randomized, sabi niya, no, mga items. So again, maaari ang set 1, this is another set B, set C, set B. Pagpalit-palit natin yung mga test items and also the options. Pwede rin yan, no? Para talagang ma-ensure natin na our learners will not copy from their seatmates, no, even if it is online, no? Another, pwede pa rin natin gawin yung we have, again, no, capture or craft other types of assessment, not only the objective type. Para makita natin talaga yung anak natin, ano ba talaga yung kaya nilang gawin, no? To understand, to demonstrate their understanding of the different concepts learned in the different subjects. So pwede naman ang paggawa natin is to explain, no, what they understand from this particular activity. No, maaari silang mag-create, no, ng isang innovative presentations, no, out of the competency, no, learn in a particular subject. So iba-iba, no, hindi siya pwedeng one shoe fits all, no, for our learners. So kapag ginawa natin yung paiba-iba, no, for the struggling learners, for the average learners, and for the fast learners, then we are ensuring that we have enough activities that would really cater to the needs of learners. So, no, in that way, they will not copy from the others. No? So yun po ay ilang mga paraan na. But we have lots of activities and strategies that we can probably employ to ensure the practice of academic honesty.
Okay, thank you so much po, Ma'am Sel. Indeed, yes, ma'am, Arshely.
I like the suggestion of Madam Celia that we will be providing our learners different set of assessment to be able to capture the really performance of our learners. But my question that is lingering in my mind while Madam Celia is telling that is very possible if the assessment is online and everybody is taking the test and the teacher is there, can see everyone taking the test. That is very possible. Yeah, that you can see who's uh, giving them set A, set B type a set of questions. You can be able to really capture those pupils who are not honest and who are honest. But suppose it's a because we are majority of our learners are in a modular instruction and the test is given not online. How can we assure that our learners are still honest when no one is seeing it? It will still boil down to the values of the parents at home. This should be clarified when values are very clear to the parents, and these values are made clear. The same values are taught to the learners and made clear to them at their home when no one is seeing. I believe that is one of the measures um, that we can really employ to see to it that our learners are not cheating, even if no one is seeing. Kasi po, as young as they are, we need to see to it that the value clarification to our learners, that is the thing that we do at the school. But then first and foremost, our first value teachers are our pupils. And now that learning is taking place most of the time at home, siguro po an orientation with our parents that cheating, like for example, getting high grades doesn't mean that you are successful. Yeah, that failing doesn't mean that you do not get what the teacher has been teaching you. So there should be what po ma'am, orientation, an orientation with our parents, clarifying them on the importance of values. Kasi po our parents have been used to getting high grades. Sometimes nga their grades are being compared. Ano po kaya nga po in kindergarten they go away with the grades. Kasi our parents are comparing with the grades because that is our orientation. We are after the grades. But looking at the scenario that we are in a new normal education, what guides our learners in being honest or not are of course the values that have been embedded in them young as they are. So that is, I guess, very important. So kailangan po ang ating mga parents, even our teachers, will do capacity building or even reorientation on values clarification and on how values would be embedded on our learners at home. Because when no one is seeing, what guides us, what influences us are our values, which are taught and embedded to us. Aside from giving them differentiated forms of assessment po.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much po, Ma'am Arcely. That's really matters doon
Sir
sa
Jason,
assessment. Opo. Ma'am,
Sir
Ma'am She?
Jason,
Sige po.
tanong ko lang, hindi nyo naman sinabi na recitation pala itong gagawin na. Meron ba tayong rubrics o parameter dito? Ang gagaling
Ma'am
ng
She,
mga...
Ma'am She, kami po ay napag-utusan lang dito sa na kayo po ay
Marami akong
kayo po ay
natututunan.
ilagay sa hot seat, Ang bilin po sa amin ay ilagay kayo sa hot seat. Kaya, well, ma'am, seriously speaking, ganito siya talaga. And we are really really want to, for our audiences to have and to get from this ay nag-uumpisa pa lang tayo. Nakakadalawang questions pa lang po tayo. And yet, parang napakalayo na ng nilakbay natin.
Sir Jason,
I would like
yes, Sir Jason, pwede ba nating basahin din yung sagot ni Sir Jay, yung comment niya, Sir June Kunanan, ang ganda po sa comment, para rin may participation yung natin. Ang ganda po.
Capture po natin sa ating pong mga technical yan. I would like to read the answer po of Sir June Kunanan. So the root cause, so this is based on talaga, meron siyang root cause. So the root cause of academic is students' lack of content, knowledge, and skills. Okay? Well, that's very true from the very first line. They cheat because they do not know the answer or how to arrive at the answer. Only when they master the skill will they stop from cheating. Okay? Maganda po siya. Yung naging response po ni Sir June. Thank you so much po, Sir June, with that. I think we can also focus on giving more yung pagde-develop ng mga skills and competencies among our learners, yung ating ginagawa as we unfold things for them to happen, yung mga competencies, how we develop them. We do not just leave them, naging classroom teacher din ako, we do not just leave them, but we see to it they master the very first competency that they need to know. Yun po yung very important. Not how many competencies you will have for them, na makuha mo just to get your your target, but how many competencies really are they getting from the mga expected competencies sa kanila? Ano po? Ma'am Mel, sige po, go ahead po, Ma'am Mel.
Oo, gusto ko lang susugan yun, no? The mere fact, for example, that they are having difficulty, nahihirapan sila dun sa ariling and therefore, kailangan nilang mag-submit, no? So, pangungopya sila. Kaya maliwanag nga dapat, no? Gaya ng in-explain kanina ni Ma'am Arcely, yung ease the pressure, we have to ease the pressure of competition. Kasi baka naman, they are thinking that they have to answer, they have to submit their outputs for the sake of having grades. No? Hindi na focus doon sa dapat kaya nagagawa nila to kasi natututunan nila yung mga bagay na kailangan nilang matutunan, no? Gaya ng binanggit mo na competencies. If ganun yung mindset kapwa ng mga learners at ng ating mga magulang, ibig sabihin, hindi sila masyadong ma-pressure doon sa pagpapasa, doon sa pagtapos ng mga gawain for the sake of having grades. No? Kasi ang departamento po natin, the DepEd has already adjusted this insofar as yung assessment natin at saka grading system is concerned. Diba? Hindi na nga masyadong importante ngayon yung sectioning. Kasi nga, kumbaga, hindi na importante kung isa lang yung pinakamagaling. Kasi ibig sabihin, kahit madami yung magaling sa isang klase, pwede. No? So, we are already adjusting our mechanisms so that we can ease yung tinatawag nating pressure on competition. But we also have to make it clear, hindi lamang sa mga learners, kundi pati sa mga magulang, ano po ba talaga yung purpose ng pag-aaral ng mga anak natin. And that is para matutunan po nila yung mga competencies na dapat nilang matutunan. And kung sila po yung gagawa at sasagot ng mga modules ng mga bata natin, hindi po natin mabibigyan ng pagkakataon yung ating mga learners, no, na magkamali. Kasi minsan ganun talaga eh. Hindi mo alam sa una, no, just like yung example kanina ni Ma'am Shirley. Pero if you have tried, no, susubukan mo, later on, you will learn from that mistake. So, we allow our learners na hindi perfect yung output nila. No? Pero kasi kapag, whether it is a written exam, whether it is a performance task, or a portfolio, for as long as yung mga yan ginawa ng bata, no, whether as an individual, even your own work, kasi pwede siyang own work with others. No? Yung kanina, gusto ko lang ilagay sa konteksto yon. It is not always na ikaw lang ang gumagawa ng mga outputs mo. Pwedeng at some point, may mga kasama ka because you belong to a group kasi it's a group work. Pwede rin naman yun eh. Pero kapag ang bata na e-enjoy niya yung paggawa, no, nung tasks, naintindihan niya na okay lang na magkamali, no? For as long as after kung nagkamali, natutunan ko na, no, kung ano talaga yung tama. So I think what comes along with the values of our learners and parents are the very clear understanding na kung ano yung purpose talaga ng pag-aaral. No? It's not all about competition, it's not about grades, but it's really learning the competencies so that yung mga skills na yan, later on in life, they will be able to use it and apply it in their own lives.
Yes po, Ma'am Mel. Ma'am She, sige po. Napakasarap ng ating usapan. Ano? This will be the last for this question. Ang dami nating question, I think 50 questions.
Gusto ko kasi yung sagot ni Ma'am Mel. Sabi ni Ma'am Mel, sususugin niya. Sususugin ko rin. Magsususog din ako sa sinabi, no? Rejoinder din, no? Doon sa sinabi ni Ma'am Mel. Napakasaya ng usapin na ito. Sana lagi tayong may ganito, Sir Jason, no? Feeling ko, ang galing-galing natin. Yeah, I would just like to perhaps also emphasize, no? Doon sa sinabi ni Ma'am Mel kanina. I was going over the comments of our audience, no? Napakaganda rin ng mga insights nila. Very significant insights. Taking for example, yung isang hindi natin nabasa, bago ko sabihin yung rejoinder, no? Yung kay Sir June Kunanan kanina, ang sabi niya, hindi ko na makita. we have to strengthen daw our value formation. Nakikita niyo ba na nagre-redown lagi sa value formation, no? Kasi yung academic honesty talaga, it comes from within, no? It comes from within. It should be innate. It should be institutionalized in our system, no? Dapat ma-capture at ma-embrace natin yung totality ng academic honesty. And before we could do that, sa mga learners natin, we have to capacitate our parents, no? Kasi they will go hand in hand eh. Yung parents natin at saka yung learners natin, they will work hand in hand. Sa napakaganda yung sinabi ni Ma'am Mel kanina na dapat maintindihan ng bata na hindi tayo after dun sa magiging kamalian ng sagot niya. After tayo dun sa matututunan ng bata at kung paano pa niya maia-apply yon in a real life situation. Kaya nga tinatawag natin yung mga modules natin as formative activities, yung mga nakalagay doon, no? At ang gagawin ng mga teachers natin, yan ang magsaserve as summative mga enrichment activities natin para mag-gauge natin yung kakulangan ng mga modules na ibinibigay natin. Konting hugot lang sa reality, no? Reality check. Nung nagmo-modules tayo last year, nag-iikot kami ni Ma'am Mel sa mga schools kahit may pandemya, no? Limited face-to-face. One time, nag-request ako sa isang grade 3 teacher ng module. Pwede bang makita yung sample ng module na sinagutan ng bata kahit ilan lang, no? So, di pinakita nila sa akin. Ang unang napansin ko, syempre iba-ibang kaso yan, kada school, no? Ang unang napansin ko sa isang school, ma'am, 2 weeks na po palang na-submit ito, bakit hanggang ngayon hindi pa na-check? Hindi po ba mas maganda kung kapag nakita nyo na may kakulangan sa kaalaman ng bata, pwede nating lagyan ng emphasis yung kakulangan niya kahit through writing lang kung ano yung kulang o hindi niya naiintindihan, and then pwede nating ibalik sa magulang, no? Parang sa kakulangan ng virtual platform, you could make use of that written conversation, no? Tapos yung isang area naman, yung isang school, ma'am, nung sinubmit po ba ng bata ito, napansin mo na napakaganda ng sulat ng isang grade 2? Hindi kaya ma'am ang magulang ang sumagot nito? No? Nagkataon, nung time na yon, kumukuha ng feeding yung mga magulang. Sa upland dito sa upland, kumukuha ng feeding yung magulang. Tapos, tinanong ko yung isang para may 'di ba? May kumbaga validation. Oh, ma'am, sabi ko dun sa sister, sabi ko dun sa ay yata yun, no? Sa totoo lang, sa dami ng activities, ikaw bang sumasagot dito o yung anak mo talaga? Ma'am, kapag hindi po niya kaya, ako na yung sumasagot. Sabi niya, at least honest yung nanay, no? So, from there, nakikita natin ano talaga yung mga ia-address natin. Kapag talaga pumunta ka sa field, makikita mo ang different scenario. Meron pa ngang isang lola na tsempohan ko, binabalik na yung module sa principal. Kasi daw, kung ako nga po hindi marunong magbasa, paano ko pa po tuturuan tong apo ko? Sabi niya, no? Pero napakaganda ng ginawa ng principal. That is from Magalang District, no? Napakaganda ng ginawa ng principal. Ma'am, total naman po, lola, sabi niya, total naman po, kayo ay nanggagaling sa medyo malayong lugar. Meron po kayong malapit na teacher doon na kapitbahay. Nag-volunteer po siya na kahit once a week doon sa ilalim ng mula ninyo, naning mula, itang halaman, puno, no? Pwede po niyang i-discuss sa bata yung mga hindi niya naiintindihan, no? So those are very concrete examples taken or drawn from the field that perhaps we could reflect on. So we would know really what is the appropriate strategy, whether it is localized, contextualized, or cascaded from the central office. What are these strategies which you think are appropriate at the age, no? Considering the age of our children, no? Yun po. Sinishare ko
Thank
lang
you
po.
so much.
Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Shirley.
Nakadalaw
Ano?
pa lang kayo ng tanong.
Opo, perhaps we can move on to the next question, Ma'am Det. Ano ba? I'll be asking the next
Pero bago
question.
natin iwan yun, Sir Jason, parang
Sige po,
kailangan
ma'am.
lang natin yun i-link doon sa comment ng isa sa mga nasa FB natin. No? Sabi niya kasi, with parents not fully equipped to really teach pupils the competencies, it becomes difficult for them to really develop these to their children. Pero I
Yes,
guess
ma'am.
yung naikwento ni Ma'am Shirley na naging strategy no nung isang school head na allowing for example teachers to help din yung mga learners na nangangailangan ng assistance no kung
Yes.
sakasakaling hindi kaya ng mga magulang nila, we can also devise mechanisms how we can do this. No?
Yes,
Yan.
ma'am.
Palagay ko yun yung
Salamat
sagot
po.
sa ni Ma'am Jennifer Kiambao.
Jennifer. Yeah. Okay. Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Mel, for that addition. Actually, the next question naman ay medyo na papahapyawan na natin doon sa susunod na question. We've been talking of yung nasabi ni Sir Jun kanina at yung nabanggit din na ating mga previous mga speakers, yung baka may gap sa skills at yung knowledge ng mga parents na nagtuturo or yung mga kakayahan ng mga guardians na magturo ni ate, ni kuya or yung mga magulang. Yun yung gap na ina-highlight natin a while back. Kaya nagkakaroon ng academic dishonesty, yung they have to comply even yun nga yung mga ganung bagay. Itong tanong naman na ito, parang napakapyawan na ni Ma'am Shirley, baka naman kaya nagkakaroon ng academic dishonesty is because yun nga yung isa sa mga nabanggit ni Ma'am Shirley. How do our teachers naman treat yung mga outputs ng ating mga estudyante? Okay? This question is coming from the group of learners. Ito po yung sinasabi nila. Gusto nila siguro na merong assurance coming from us as the overseer of the SDO Pampanga. Gusto nilang magkaroon ng assurance dito. Baka naman kasi dito sa tanong nila na ito kaya nagkakaroon din ng mga academic dishonesty ay ganito. Do our teachers really record our performance tasks and activities? Baka naman na nababalitaan ng mga estudyante na or walang bumabalik sa kanila ng mga ganito na assurance na chinecheck or hindi. Hindi naman chinecheck ni ma'am. Parang wala namang si sir. So, okay lang na hindi naman niya tinitingnan. Kasi kung tinignan niya yan, sigurado, sinitan niya tayo. Hindi tayong sumagot niyan, hindi tayong nagsagot niyan. So, yun po yung question. An assurance to among our learners na talagang chine-check yung performance tasks and other activities ng ating pong mga learners. Ma'am, yes po, Ma'am Sel, Lale. Sige po.
Actually, sinagot na po ni Ma'am Sheyan kanina, no? Napakahalaga po talaga ng feedbacks, no? Yung mga feedbacks ng ating mga teachers in relation to the modules, no? Answered modules of our learners. When teachers would give notations on the modules regarding on why the learner did not get the correct responses, no? Yung kanyang feedback, bakit dapat hindi siya ganito, bakit ganito. So yun po ay isa sa mga mechanism talagang dapat gawin, no? Informative assessment. Our modules are not really graded. No? And that has to be made clear, no, to our parents during the orientation. Modules, no, assessment in modules are not graded. They are part of the formative assessment. But of course, it's so important that teachers need to look, no, at the results of the assessments in the modules, no, to see the progress of our learners. Napakahalaga yan. Kailangan tingnan nila how, no, the learners are progressing, no, in terms of the different competencies and skills. Kaya nga, dapat talagang nagbibigay siya ng notation, no. Tama si ma'am, no, sa likod ng mga modules, there are correct responses. Mali naman talaga yung parents sasabihin kung nahihirapan ka, na kopyahin mo na lang yung mga nasa likod ng module. Now, we are not really giving our learners that, sabi natin, that opportunity to really think of the possible answers, on the correct responses, to learn by himself or be assisted by somebody at home. So napakahalaga ng pagbibigay ng feedback. Regular feedback at the end of the week kapag nabalik po, na-retrieve ang ating mga modules, dapat talaga may assurance sa mga bata na binasa talaga yung mga outputs nila ng ating mga guro. no? Dahil kung hindi, no, yung mga anak natin, they are still guessing if they really master the competencies or not, di ba? Nag-iisip din sila, nakuha ko ba ang mga yon o hindi? Pumasa kaya ako, no, doon sa mga nakarang kong mga lessons or hindi? Kasi hindi nga naman naibalik, no, yung mga tinatawag nating mga written works nila o kaya naman yung mga answer sheets nila in relation to the modules activities. No? So dapat maging malinaw yan sa mga teachers natin na naririto po, no? At the end of the week, kapag na-retrieve ang mga modules, lahat ng mga activities ng mga bata, kailangan may mga notations tayo. No? Kasi sabi natin, yung mga assessments na yan, palaging binabanggit po yan ni Ma'am Balagtas, no? May mga, lahat ay possible answers. No? Halimbawa, kung ito isang objective type of test, lahat yan ay possible answers. Pero may pinakatamang sagot. No? At kailangan makapagbigay ng feedback ang teacher bakit ito ang pinakatamang sagot, no, for a particular test item. So yun po, no, napakahalaga na may mga ganung mga notations na ibabalik weekly talaga, no, yung mga modules na sabi natin activities, yeah. But then again, it has to be made clear to parents na hindi po nag-grade ang mga modules ng mga anak natin. They are part of the formative assessment to really assess only, no, the knowledge, no, the mastery of our learners in terms of the competency stipulated po in the modules. No. Kaya yan ay, no, binabalik, no, para tignan ng guro for the teachers po, no, to come up with better decision. Kaya nga, yung result nun, it will give now the teachers, no, better decision on what to do next. Will the teacher proceed with the next modules or not? Diba? Will the teachers, no, need again a remediation on the not mastered skills of our learners, no? So kailangan matukoy niya ilan sa mga bata, no, ang pumasa, ang nakakuha ng tama, ang hindi nakakuha. Then that will be now the opportunity for the teacher to connect with the parents and the learners in our weekly kumustahan. Yan po ay nasa division memorandum natin, hindi po ba? Class program, 2 o 3 subjects, but in a week, pinalagay po natin dyan na kailangan may weekly kumustahan yung advisor, yung teacher sa mga bata, so they can already immediately address the learning difficulties of our learners in terms of competencies. Hindi na natin hinihintay ang pang-5 linggo na sinasabi po sa DepEd Order number 8, Series 2015. It has to be weekly, no, connecting with parents and learners so that by next week, learners po are ready to meet another, no, modules, another competencies, no, to learn, no, and to read as well. Yun po.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much po, Ma'am Sel Lacanlale. Ano po? I think let us proceed now to the next question, Ma'am Det, and perhaps we can give way to our questions po from our parents. Meron din tayong mga question po coming po from our parents. Ma'am Det, sige po, go ahead.
Okay. So thank you, Sir Jason. So galing naman po ito sa mga parents, no? Ito po yung question. Is there equity in grading if a child could the assessment due to lack of resources? O, no? Is there equity in grading if a child could not accomplish the assessment due to lack of resources? Anyone po?
Now, we are here in a platform, and teachers and also school heads need to be, again, be made aware of the situations of their learners. Kung kailangan po, meron silang data, sino sa mga anak nila ang may mga gadgets? Sino ang mga anak nila na may mga computers, so walang computers at home, na mga laptops, no, na mga smartphones. It's a must, no, that we look into the situations of our learners. Tama si Ma'am Ded doon at ang mga parents natin sometimes, there is no equity in resources. And so if there is no equity in resources, we have to adjust as school heads and teachers on how we can, no, teach our learners in other modalities, in other ways. No, be it kung wala talagang pang-online, walang internet connection, then we can make use of, no, a modular instruction. We can make use of the LAS, no, yung mga learning activity sheets natin for our learners. No? We can make use of another option, yung RBI natin, no, yung radio-based, yung sa ibang mga schools natin, may radio-based na hindi naman nangangailangan ng internet connection, di po ba? So kailangan yung school head natin at mga teachers natin, they have to look into really the situations in their school, particularly of their learners, so they can address, no, the non-equity, no, in terms of resources. So yun po ang aking sagot doon.
Yes, po. Thank you so much. Yes, Ma'am Mel. Sige po, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's also the very reason, no, bakit nung nagkaroon tayo ng pulisiya na hindi lamang modular approach yung gagamitin natin, kundi blended learning. Kumbaga, yun naman pwedeng use of high technology and low technology, di ba? So, ang mga teachers natin, hindi lang sila blended in terms of modular plus online, or meron din sila yung modular pero ino-augment nila yon by 'di ba phone call sa ating mga uh, magulang, bata o kaya naman text messaging kasi mas accessible for example ang group chat kasi konting data ang requirement for example ng messenger. Kaya yun yung makikita natin na common sa ating mga teachers na they create group messenger chats for the parents as well as for the learners para meron talagang yung continuous na communication with them. But I guess ang phones natin, marami tayong pwedeng gawin talaga, no? Kaya meron tinatawag na M-learning or mobile learning. Whereas nagagamit ito bilang resource kung paano yung mga learners natin masusupplement yung paggamit ng modular instruction para mas maintindihan nila yung mga lesson. Actually, this is the very reason bakit yung mga teachers natin ngayon talaga mas nahihirapan kasi actually they have to resort to every kind of modality that is applicable according to the resources of our learners. Kapag nga hindi na uubra ang telepono at ang internet connectivity, talagang somehow may face-to-face talaga, no, that they are going to visit just to check on the learners, no, or they can also parang nagde-devise sila ng mechanism kung paano na makausap kung sino yung malapit doon sa bata na yon. Kaya nga yung mga PTA natin, yung mga kumbaga sa SPG, no, SSG, ito yung mga pwedeng maging bahagi, no, nung mga programa, no, kung paano na matutulungan natin yung continuous communication sa ating mga learners para matulungan sila. Yung mga projects ng DepEd such as Itulay, no, as online tutorial, kumbaga, yan yung mga ways and means din kung paano na-augment din natin yung pag-assist sa ating mga learners. And I think there are certain projects ng PTA, no, na meron din silang mga ginagawa in the communities wherein they pull off their resources para noon, for example, merong TV na napapanood yung mga cluster of learners sa isang community para na-avail naman nila, for example, yung mga video lessons natin. So, these are part, alam natin yung equity, hindi talaga equitable ang distribution ng resources na available na meron ang mga magulang natin. Pero in as much as we can in the division of Pampanga, we ensure that each of the learners have access to each of these modalities and resources nang sa gayon po patuloy pa rin silang natututo, no, kung alin mang modality yung piliin nila.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much po, Ma'am Mel. Sige po, any addition to that po, Ma'am Arcely? Sige po, go
I
ahead.
will add to that, ne. We cannot really achieve equity because our learners have varying contexts. They have varying backgrounds. That is why it's very crucial and very important on the part of our teachers that at the outset, before the opening, they would have to have a data from their learners so that they would be able to fit into whatever context that they will have. That is why it's very important, and we have seen our teachers who really get out of their way to really identify and capture the data and the context of their learners so that they would be able to give what modality is suited depending on the context of their particular learner. So napakahalaga po talaga ng meron tayong data-based information among our learners because that will be our basis and guide in the assistance that we will be giving our learners. So, hindi naman kung talaga pong ang ating mga teacher ay talagang very committed and dedicated and we have seen their passion in teaching in this new normal. Talaga pong doble ang kayod nila. At nakita po natin with the given context and data and information that they have with their learners, they have and they have respond based on the unique context of their learners. just to continue education and give the quality education that every learner deserves depending on their set of context.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Arceli, ano po, for that additional inputs po regarding that question on the equity of gadgets. Ano po. So the follow-up question with that, ano, among the questions po sa mga parents natin ay related sila, ma'am, that ano, na-answer na ng mga speakers natin yung mga ibang questions dito among the questions na nasa parents area, no? Ang follow-up lang po natin dito, yes, given yung concern natin on the equity of distribution of gadgets, ano, the limitations on the access on online modality, ano, yun yung mga issue ng ating pong mga parents. Meron isang question dito na according to them, ano, sabing ganun, will the grade of my student or my children be affected if she or he cannot really participate in online classes, given the situation that they have, yun nga, ano, yung limited access to online, particularly yung access or having their own gadget to use during online classes. Maapektuhan ba yung mga grades ng anak ko if they cannot really participate in online classes because there is really nga a limitation dun sa mga ganitong mga gadgets. Ano. Yes po, ma'am, Dr. Lacanlale.
Our learners po, no, based on DepEd Order 31 Series 2020, are graded po on two ways. Yung written works natin at saka po yung ating performance-based tasks. And in our division, we have only, I think in the elementary, we have only one school na who's really implementing the online distance learning. And that is Santa Ana District, one district only, I think, no, Santa Ana. And then we have only a few of the secondary, 4 or 5 secondary schools na who would also implement the online distance learning. Kung may mga online distance learning din nagaganap in our division, if our learners po cannot really join in, no, in online classes, then it's the responsibility again of our teachers to look for other means, no, or modalities in which these learners po, no, can be catered to. Kaya nga sabi natin, in one particular class, not all of them, no, can enjoy the online distance learning. Maari yung kalahati, no, the printed SLMs, plus another one, no? Sabi natin, ano kaya yan? Pwede ba yung digitized na SLMs, no, combination of two? Or pwede ba yung through text messaging? Sabi nga ni ma'am, no, yung low technology, no, pwede ba yung ganoon? No, ngayon, kung halimbawa pa rin, wala na, no, ang dami natin mga possible, hindi siya pwede doon, wala siyang pang-online, wala siyang internet connectivity at home, wala siyang gadgets pa rin, walang mga cellphones. Then again, sabi natin, may responsibility ang teacher natin to look for ways in which this learner po, no, can be catered to by the department. Kaya pagod talaga, saludo po kami sa mga guro natin. Kaya maaring, no, kaya nga may mga sa ating pong Brigada Pagbasa, naghahanap tayo ng mga volunteer teachers, volunteer donors, volunteer readers, volunteer sabihin natin, DepEd advocates or supporters, no? Dahil kung may mga ganyan tayo within the community, may tutulong po talaga sa mga teachers natin to ensure really that, no, education can continue amidst the COVID-19 situation po in our country, no? So, maaari din mag-home visitation. Pwedeng gawin yan ng teacher but practicing, no, health and safety protocols. Hindi po ba? Para i-one-on-one tutorial ang gawin niya po sa bata dahil nga sabi natin, hindi siya pwede sa online o sa iba pang mga modalities po ng DepEd. Kaya nga po sinasabi namin, saludo kami sa mga guro na pwedeng gumawa, no, ng mga maraming sakripisyo po para sa mga anak nating nag-aaral this time of pandemic. Hindi apektuhan ba ang kanyang mata? Hindi naman, no? Basta mayroon pong other modalities na pwedeng maibigay sa bata, no? Maaring may mga ibang mga activities na pwedeng gawin ang bata, okay? Para po talagang yung kanyang apat-apat, yung 4-4 na activities, no, written works and also performance-based tasks can be done within the quarter. No, yun po, Sir Jay po yung sagot natin.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Lacanlale. Ano po? Yun po, mga magulang, ano, kung meron man tayong mga magulang na nakikinig, ano, ang sagot po ng ating pong CID chiefs doon sa question natin, kung maapektuhan ba ang mga marka ng ating mga magulang o ay mga anak, ano? If in case na hindi siya makapag-participate sa online, sabi ng ating CID chief ay merong maraming iba pang paraan, ano, para dito, ano. So yun nga po, nabanggit niya po ito kanina. Would you like to add something po, Ma'am Mel, with that?
At saka kanina, nung umaga kasi meron tayong discussion, no, para dun sa pilot testing ng ating contextualized assessment tools. Kung mapapansin natin, nung diniscuss yun, merong iba-ibang modality, no, kung paano i-pilot test yung assessment. So, kumbaga nakita ko doon, merong parts na may PowerPoint, no? Meron naman din parts na mga Google Forms. So, kumbaga, we are adjusting accordingly. Depende po doon sa what are resources na available po sa ating mga learners. So, yun naman po yung assurance natin sa kanila na ibig sabihin, laging merong option, no, yung mga magulang natin in so far as yung assessment is concerned. Kasi lagi po nating kino-consider yung konteksto ng ating mga learners.
Thank you so much po, Ma'am Mel, ano po doon sa karagdagan, ano. One last, Ma'am, my partner, ano, one last para sa akin dito before I give, ano, in relation to this, tapusin lang natin yun sa mga parents, ano. Based on the questions that we are ano po doon sa mga binabanggit natin dito sa ating pong discussion, ano, our parents, I think majority of their concerns has something to do with the assessment, ano, kasi lagi siyang nababanggit, parang pag sa academic honesty, it's all about assessment, ano, and nabanggit niya rin po kanina na you are keeping on mentioning about assessment, different assessment, ano, different modalities, assessment on different modalities, ano. So concerned din ng mga magulang ito, ano. I think they are also much familiar with assessment more than their children. Ano. So ang tanong nila dito ay gaano ba kadalas ina-assess ang mga anak namin? Yun yung tanong ng mga magulang, no. Para sigurong may mga ibang magulang siguro na lagi na lang, ma, ating kaming assessment, ma, meron kaming performance task ngayon, ma. Hindi na kayo nagsama sa performance assessment, parang gano'n, ano. Can we say a little something about this? Gaano ba natin kadalas ina-assess ang ating pong mga anak? Sino pong pwedeng sumagot po dito? Yes po, Dr. Lacanlale.
Kanina po, binanggit po natin yan, mga minamahal naming magulang. 4 na beses po para po sa mga written works at 4 na beses po para po sa performance-based task. Baka inisip po ninyo na yung pong sa formative assessment, no, yung pong ating sa mga modules ay although it's part of the assessment, paulit-ulit natin binabanggit, no? Paulit-ulit po na sinasabi natin part of, sabi natin, assessing the knowledge, no, preparation of our learners, no, in terms of the content. May alam na ba sila sa mga to, no? How are they progressing? Ganun po, no? Pero hindi naman po yan kasama sa kanilang pagmamarka. Ang ating pong kailangan tatandaan, no? Dapat talagang maintindihan ng ating mga anak yung mga modules natin, yung content ng mga modules, kasi our teachers po will be preparing parallel examinations for the written works in connection with the competencies read and learned by our learners while studying po the modules. Kaya napakahalaga na magbasa ang mga anak natin sa modules, no? Sila ang sumagot, maging self-directed learners po sila, no? Na konting push lang natin, paalala, okay, tulong, advice, niya. At ayusin po natin yung study habits ng ating mga anak, yung kanilang right schedules ay masundan po nila, no, para ma-develop po yung ating proper habits po, study habits po ng ating mga anak. No? So yun lang po ang tatandaan. Kailangan lang basahin, daanan ng mga modules para yung mga skills ng mga bata, mga competencies, matutuhan nila. Para kapag nagbigay ng parallel exam sa mga teachers natin sa 4 na written works, 4 na performance-based tasks, magagawa po ng mga anak natin. Kasi yun lang po ang markado. Bawat ganito po, 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, no, first week wala po talagang ginigrade at talaga pong recorded na grade ang mga anak natin. Sa pangalawang linggo pa lang po, magbibigay ng parallel exam, no, yung ating mga teachers. Pag-aaralan naman ng 1 linggong modules ang mga anak natin. Then next week after po, doon na naman sila magbibigay ng mga written works or performance-based tasks. Okay po, so ganun po, every 2 weeks po yan. Kaya 8 po, 8 lang po ang ating mga minamarkahan para po sa mga anak natin. Yun po.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Lacanlale. Ano po? Yes po, Ma'am Shirley is raising her hand. Acknowledge po, Ma'am Shirley. Sige po.
Thank you, Sir Jason. Crystal clear yung sinabi ni Ma'am Sel relative to assessment, no? Pero na-realize ko ngayon, no? Siguro reflection din siya sa part natin based sa pattern ng questioning ng mga magulang natin. They are after the accuracy, they are after the reliability of our assessment tools. It seems na very competitive ang mga parents natin. Ano? Kung titingnan mo talagang siguro ito rin perhaps no isa sa magiging basis natin kapag ginawa na natin or kinonduct na natin yung tinatawag nating value formation or yung capacity building relative to academic honesty sa mga parents natin. Na unang-unang importante na kailangan na ng mga bata is yung matutunan yung mga competencies, no? Secondary na lang yung rating na makukuha nila. Kasi at the end of the day, lalo na tayo, matatanda na tayo, alam natin to, no? Hindi na yung rating or yung grade ang binibitbit natin paglabas natin ng paaralan. Kung hindi yung acquired knowledge and skills and competency na ang bitbit natin, ang baon natin. Kumbaga, pag pumasok ka na sa real world, sa totoong laban ng buhay, yung diskarte, yung galing, kaalaman, yun ang nagiging basihan natin. At kaya nga sabi natin, napaka-importante ng intensifying and strengthening value formation, no? So, yun lang po ang nakita ko sa pattern ng pagtatanong, no, ng mga assessment tools natin kanina. Kaya sabi ko, it is really a reflection both on the part of DepEd and the part of the community and the parents as well, no?
Thank you so much.
Lagi po. Yes, mga parents, lagi po isa puso natin, no? Ang pag-aaral ng mga bata is para matuto po sila primarily. Hindi po yung makakuha sila ng matataas na grades. Siguro that is also the reason why yung central office natin dinefit niya yung purpose, no? Yung wala na tayong recognition, di ba? Mga top 10, mga gano'n, no? Tinanggal na niya, di ba? Kasi hindi rin ma-ascertain ng central office kung binibigyan pa niya ng rank yung parent ba o yung bata, di ba? No? So, kaya nga po, para rin maila sa puso ng mga magulang natin that we are after kung paano natin ipiprepare yung bata sa future niya at hindi po yung mere or actual rating na makukuha niya sa kasalukuyan. Thank you po.
Tama po, Dr. Shirley. Ano, napakaganda po nung sharing nyo. Ano. With our days, ano, kasi nadatnan ko rin yun, ano, we are very much particular with the numbers. Parents, they are very particular with the numbers. At line of 9 ka lahat, something like that. Ano. So, we have also questions coming from our principals group. And my partner po will ask questions po coming from this group. Ma'am Det, sige po, go ahead.
Okay, Sir Jason, so narinig na po natin yung mga questions from our learners, parents, and teachers. Ngayon po ay sa mga school heads naman po tayo. So parang it has something to do with yung nababanggit po na performance and assessment po, no? Ito medyo po may pagkaseryoso talaga yung question niya kasi, will a learner be charged or as possible sanction or be removed from the honor list if caught plagiarizing works po? So, yung po bang bata ay mayroong siyang possible, ma-charge po siya, magkakaroon po siya ng sanction or maaalis po siya from honor list if nahuli po siyang nagpa-plagiarize ng mga works po.
Yes po, Dr. Lacanlale. Sige po, you may answer the question po.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Talaga naman very particular ang mga parents natin, no, sa honor roll, no, yung mga roster of sabi natin, no, mga top 1 to 10. Pero kailangan po malaman ng mga magulang natin ang DepEd Order number 47, no, Series 2015. Sabi po dito, ano, mga inclusion of acts, no, or violations to national examination. Although ito ay sa national examination natin, no, halimbawa na nahuli ang isang tao na misrepresent niya yung isa, no? O kaya naman sabi natin, nangopya siya, no? During the examination, pwede po na, ito po sa mga, kasama na po dito yung sa EPT, no? Para sa mga teachers natin, they will be disbarred from getting the same test, no, for 2 years. So, yun po ang para sa mga guro, pero may binanggit din sa mga national examination. But there is no clear-cut policy when it comes to our learners yet. Kaya nga, ang binabanggit po dito, no, nung magkaroon kami ng usapan in the regional office, kailangan, no, makabalangkas, no, ng mismong polisiya, no, yung DepEd, National Office, in relation to academic cheating, no, of our learners. Para po magkaroon sila ng, madala sila, no, kasi kung minsan yung mga dati natin, mga suspension lang, expulsion, di ba? Pag may mga na-violate po yung mga anak natin sa mga sabi natin, mga student handbooks po, no? Mga rules po ng paaralan. But in here, ang nakikita lang natin na yung DepEd Order number 47, no, series 2015, no, yung sa to ensure proactive transparency grading system. Pero walang binabanggit, silent, very silent pa. No? Kaya nga, yung usapan namin sa regional office, sana gumawa ng clear policy yung DepEd, no, to really ensure that there will be academic honesty, no, from the ranks of our leaders, no, down to our learners in school. Yeah? Kailangan may ngipin ng batas. Sabi nga natin, no? Kasi kapag walang ngipin ng batas, hanggang doon lang tayo sa mga paalala, no? Paalala ng paalala. And sometimes reminders are not really enough, no, because everything po boils down really to the values of the parents. May I just add, no, nung pong nag-aaral din ng anak ko, that was a perennial concern, no, of a learner coming from an SSC class. Sabi niya, very competitive ang mga parents natin sa isang science class kasi gusto nila yung mga anak nila puro line of 9, no? Ang tinitingnan puro numbers, line of 9. Ganon sila, no? But again, being the president po in the class for 4 years, no, in one public school then in the secondary, sabi ng isang parent, talagang nasaktan po ako doon. Ang sabi ng isang parent, okay lang na mangopya, basta hindi sila nahuhuli. No? Imagine coming that statement, no, from a parent, talagang nakakabigla po yan, no? At sinabi ko, dahil sa ako po ay DepEd. Pero sabi ko, if we tolerate, no, cheating, no, from our learners, from our children, then what kind of country are we having in the future? We will be having corrupt, no, leaders. No, we'll be having criminals. Kasi sa batang edad pa lang natin, sabi ko, kinolerate na natin yung acts of, sabi natin, dishonesty. Hindi po ba? So nasa mga magulang kung minsan, no, kung paano natin maaring palakihin din ang ating mga anak. So again, no, the department, particularly the SGOT, can probably lead, no, in the proper orientation and training also of our, no, parents and also our learners to really embrace, no, academic honesty and integrity. Tama doon, no? Honesty, integrity is doing the right thing even though no one is looking. No, kahit naman tayo, no, in DepEd, we would always, no, embrace that. We will be doing our mandates even though the bosses are not looking. Ginagawa natin ang mga trabaho natin. And that has to cascade as well, no, in the lives of our teachers and also our leaders. Walang nagmo-monitor sa inyo. Kung walang nagmo-monitor, you have to do your mandates as well. Kasi kung anong nakikita sa inyo, you model the way, no, to your teachers, no, their school heads, to your teachers, to your parents and learners as well. So yun po, napakahalaga, no, ng pag-angkin din natin ng integrity, modeling the way, so we can really, no, promote academic honesty in SDO Pampanga. So yun po yung para sa akin, ma'am. Yes po.
Sige po. Maraming salamat, Dr. Lacanlale. Ano po? Ma'am Det, I think Ma'am Mel is raising also her hand. After Ma'am Mel po is Ma'am Arcely. Before we move on to the next one, Ma'am Det.
Oo. Bibigyan ko lang ng konteksto yung sinasabi niya, ma'am, no? Kumbaga, walang malinaw, no, ng mga punitive measures dyan. Bakit? In the Department of Education, we are employing the use of positive discipline. No? So importante po kasi na maintindihan natin kung saan nanggagaling, for example, yung bata. Kapag nakakommit po siya, for example, ng mistakes regarding, for example, academic dishonesty for that matter. No? Pero ang importante po kasi sa atin sa DepEd, yung long-term effect, no, ng kung paano po natin i-address yung mga ganitong sitwasyon given the context of paano po siya nangyari. So more than the penalty that we are going to give the learner, mas pinagtutuunan po natin ng pansin talaga yung kung paano po natin mag-guide yung learner pati ang kanyang mga magulang, no, para susuportahan po natin malalaman natin ano yung reason, no, for the action kasi we don't abhor, di ba, the person, no, but the act. Now, we do not tolerate it, but at the same time, we employ yung use of positive discipline when we are handling very sensitive matters such as this, because we are considering the long-term effect, no, especially sa psychological and mental well-being ng learners na na-involved sa ganong mga pagkakataon.
Yes po. Thank you so much po, ma'am. Amen. Yes po, Ma'am Arceline. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Sir Jay. So sabi kanina ni Ma'am Sel that the SGOD will do a lot of capacity building for our parents and for our teachers. So right after this activity, Sir Jason is here. We will ask our people in the field, headed of course by the principal, to submit to us a schedule to run also similar presentation on academic honesty. This should be also cascaded to the field, and in which the participants are the parents of their learners, so that we will be promoting academic honesty down the line. Napakahalaga po kasi ng values. Ako po, lagi ko po yan sinasabi. Even yesterday during the orientation for non-teaching personnel, sinabi ko po, when values are very clear to us, very easy to make decisions in life. When values are very clear, it's very easy to make decision. Very easy to say no, very easy to say yes. In the private school, they have handbook, they have manuals. Right away, there is a punishment for cheating. So I think this is one of the requirements. I know, not requirements. One of the things they considered when they select honor pupils, particularly if one of those aspiring honor pupils has committed cheating. Madali po sa private schools because they have handbooks with them. But in the public school, tama si Ma'am Sel, wala po tayong very clear guidelines on this because we employ positive punishment, restoring the person. We are more on the restoration of the person. Although we hate the act, but we still restore the person. Pero po, if the person is running for honor, for aspiring for a rank, an honor pupil, meron po tayo, di ba, set of values na checklist at ginigrade ang mga yan, hindi po ba? So siguro po at that aspect, pwede natin siyang bawasan ng grade niya doon. Kasi po, meron din naman negative connotation, negative impact doon sa umahabol din ng honor pupil na nag-commit ng plagiarism, nag-cheat, pagkatapos ay kasama pa siya sa honor pupil. Siguro po, meron po tayong measures. Meron naman po character education na nire-reflect doon ang mga values ng ating mga bata at corresponding grades. Siguro po at that aspect, pwede maintindihan naman ng bata at ng explain to the parents why that particular pupil will not get high in honesty, kasi wala po tayo talagang measure, wala tayong handbook. Pero there are aspects wherein observable traits are part of the things that we are measuring among our learners. Kasi po ako po lagi kong sinasabi, even during our teachings in the graduate school, because we are teaching teachers, that in teaching, we should not only educate the mind, but we as well educate the heart. Because everything fall futile if we only educate the mind and not also educating the heart. According to Aristotle, we are producing intellectual monster if we do not educate hand in hand. That is why we do measures at the level of the school, make the pupil understand of the act committed, But there should also be a corresponding punishment. Tang pwede po sigurong ketang kayang values sa subject, naman po siguro matas ka rin. Kasi it would have also an impact on those pupils who are doing right. Po? Siguro po, this should be taken and there should be a policy to address particularly this concern on cheating and other forms of dishonesty in our classroom that concerns our learners.
Thank you so much po, Dr. Arceli, ano? Partner, all I can say is wow, ano? This has been very fruitful and very engaging discussion, I know.
Yeah.
Do you still have questions for our guests, ano po, mga speakers natin ngayon, our top management? Ma'am Det, do you still have a few more questions for them before we wrap up yung ating pong activity this afternoon?
Okay, I think Sir Jay, yung susunod na question napahapyaw na rin sa discussion kanina. Yun. I think that will be the last question.
Yes po. Kasi we have among the set of questions. Yes po, Ma'am Det. Sige, go ahead. Sorry.
Ay, it's okay po.
Okay po.
Go
Kasi
ahead,
merong mga commonalities and habang sinasagot ng ating pong mga ASDSS and chiefs ay nasasagutan na rin nila yung ating pong mga ibang questions. Ano? Napaka-engaging at napaka-fruitful ng ating pong discussion ngayon. Gusto ko lamang i-check from our support tech kung meron tayong mga questions sa ating pong comment box so that we can read them and address likewise these questions if there are any questions sa ating pong comment box. If not, queue na lang din kami dito sa ating private chat so that we can proceed with our wrapping up and end our activity this afternoon. Okay, so according to our head tech, our ITO, no questions so far sa ating pong comment box. Ano? So Ma'am Det, we will not let this end, not hearing from our top management, our ASDSS and two chiefs, any parting words, ngayong hapon po na ito. We really cannot give you something in return with the time that you have given to us, but we really do appreciate your presence, directly answering the questions po coming from the field. We believe that these questions po are the representations, of the concerns ng ating pong mga stakeholders in the fields, like our learners, our parents, and our teachers as well as our principals. So maraming salamat po. But as like what I've said, we would like to hear any parting words from you. Ano po yung ating pong mai-share for the last time dito sa ating discussion ngayong hapon bago po natin po i-end ang ating pong broadcast. We start po with Ma'am Shirley Zipagan. Sige po, Dr. Shirley, go ahead.
Yes, very simple lang siguro yung parting words natin, no? Yung mga nakikinig natin ngayon, they are school heads, they are parents, they are siguro may learners then perhaps, no? And even our EPS and PSDSS. Perhaps ang masasabi lang natin is we are trying to drive at and accomplish, sustain or obtain, academic honesty. But take note and please be reminded that this academic honesty is immensely the responsibility of everyone in the educational system. It is a shared responsibility. It could not be achieved only by the teacher, only by the learner, and only by the parents. We are all responsible in achieving or inculcating, instilling academic honesty among our teachers, among our learners, and among our parents as well. No? So siguro hindi ko siya pahabain. Ang sa akin lang is if we have the same purpose, if we have the same direction, if we share the same dream for our learners, perhaps we will work hand in hand to achieve academic honesty. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow. Very well said, Dr. Shirley Zipagan. Ano po? Maraming salamat po. Partner was the next one to give her parting message.
Okay, Ma'am Melissa, huwag ka, ano po? Pwede po namin mahingian kayo ng parting words, ma'am.
Ma'am Mel? Mukhang naglalag yung kay Ma'am Mel, partner.
Ako na po,
Hello po?
habang
Dr.
naglalag.
Lisa? Yes po. We proceed.
Habang
We
naglalag ang
proceed
aking
po.
boss.
Habang
Ang aking
naglalag.
volunteer habang naglalag. Ako na po. Okay.
Sige po.
My dear school heads, teachers, parents, and learners, I think academic honesty is everyone's business. We are here in DepEd to support and foster the implementation of academic honesty at all the ranks in DepEd, from the top management down to the line at the school level. More than the grades of our learners, more than getting honor roll, ranks, higher marks in school, let us try to foster value formation to our learners, to our teachers, and to us, even as school heads. Why? Because we want to pledge our commitment to the vision and mission of the department. The vision would always emphasize, sabi niya, we dream of the Filipino, a Filipino who passionately love their country and whose competencies and values, sabi niya, enable them to realize their full potential. My dear, yun po ang kahalagahan, competencies and values, are joined together to be holistically developed among our learners, because our learners, at the end of our journey in education, we want them to become better nation builders. We can only do that if they are well trained, well developed holistically from the different schools and at home, okay, fostering always honesty and integrity. It's our business, my dear parents. It's our business, my dear school heads. It's our business. It's your business, my dear teachers in the school. It's our business in DepEd. All right. So to everyone, marami pong salamat. Let us promote academic honesty, not and no to academic dishonesty. Now it's your turn, Ma'am Mel.
Yes po.
Okay,
Thank you so
nawala
much.
yata yung connection niyo kanina. So,
Ma'am Mel, sige po.
So at the end of the day po, di ba, in this life, what we want is for us to please our grand instructor, our great teacher. So we look to him and we want to please him. At ang sabi nga, Psalm 51:6, no? Nalulugod ka sa katapatan ng puso. Turuan mo ang puso ko ng tunay na karunungan. So tulungan po natin at turuan ang ating mga anak ng tunay na karunungan. And this we can do when we promote academic honesty.
Amen. Amen with that, Ma'am Mel. Ano po? So, partner, would you like to introduce the last one? Sige na po, Ma'am Det.
Of course. We will hear from Dr. Arcely Lopez po.
Closing na ba to? Closing na.
Not yet, Ma'am Sel. Not yet. You still have your closing later.
Pwede bang closing na to para ipagsamahin ko na? So thank you so much for this wonderful day. Maraming salamat sa ating mga participants. At the end of the day, if we say that education is everyone's concern, academic honesty is also everyone's concern. It's not only the concern of the people in the higher up, but also concern of the people down the line. That is why setting the example is the only way and no other way to influence our people, particularly our young learners. If we see honesty down the line from the rank up to the higher up, then there would never be reason why these values would not be caught by our learners. The real measure and the real goal of education, of course, is intelligence coupled with character. This is the goal of education. If we develop these two with our learners, then we are successful in delivering education to our learners. So to all the participants, we just hope that every one of us that we walk honesty in our life and we set the example, model the way for our learners so that that example that we set, we can influence them. Because later on, these learners will not remain to be learners inside the classroom in our school. They would become leaders someday. So if this is caught by them at the early years, this will be their life in the future. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Napakahusay,
so
ano.
much po.
Napakagaling, ano. We really enjoyed this activity, ano po. Marami tayong natutunan, ano. Just facilitating this activity, Ma'am Det, I know hindi mo lang nasasabi talaga, no, pero I know you are also overwhelmed with your feeling, ano po, to be included as a moderator dito sa ating po activity po na ito. So, Ma'am Det, my partner, can we proceed now with the wrapping up of this activity, moving towards to our ending of this activity. Ma'am Det, go ahead.
Okay, actually, Sir Jay, nag-take downloads ako sa mga remarkable na mga nasasabi nila. Okay, no? So with that, we would like to thank our members of the Roundtable discussions for sharing their gracious time and expertise. So indeed, it is important to be academically honest, especially in our current educational system. Our personal morals and values reflect our character and credibility. Schools and institutions are expected to adhere to academic integrity in their quest for knowledge. Sir Jay?
Yes po, that's very true, Ma'am Det. Ano, so let us work hand in hand in helping our students, our learners, ano po, our Kapampangan learners to work hard to achieve academic integrity and earning their degrees. Yes, of course, we look forward to that in fair and in honest way. So our pursuit of scholarly activity in an open, honest, and responsible manner is our desire for our every learner, every Kapampangan learner. And let us not always forget not to act with personal integrity. We respect our students' dignity as well, their rights and their property, and help them maintain a very conducive learning environment for them, in which what we really want for them to imbibe this academic honesty really relies on the hand of the people those they look up to. Yung kanilang mga parents, the guardians, our school leaders, our teachers, school leaders, as well as our leaders in the department. So majority of our leaders desires to be honest. That is very innate, innate among our learners. They desires to be honest. Let us help them to be honest. So with that, maraming salamat pong muli sa inyo pong pagsama sa amin dito po sa isang napaka-matagumpay at very fruitful na discussion po ngayong hapon. We are really looking forward with more activities like this para maging engaging at para maging informative sa bawat isa. Partner, anything that you would like to say? My salute to our top management, Ma'am Mel, Dr. Shirley, Dr. Arcely, and Dr. Lacanlale, with the leadership of our SDS, Dr. Edgar Domingo. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Partner, I am turning now my floor to you. Thank you so much. And I think we were done with this coffee table. Coffee siya talaga actually, no? Pero wala siyang coffee. Ipapadala na lang ang coffee. I don't know kung sino mag-sponsor ng coffee. We are now turning the floor to our ever gorgeous MC for the formally closing of this activity. Maraming salamat po. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for that, Sir Jason. Tunay nga yan. Honesty ang sinabi mo. Honest na honest ka kapag sinabi mong gorgeous, ever gorgeous naman. All right, and thank you so much to our top management, to our two gorgeous and very supportive and, of course, intellectual, academic, honest Assistant Schools Division Superintendents, Dr. Shirley B. Zipagan and Dr. Melissa S. Sanchez, and to our very supportive and, of course, able and considerate and, of course, academically honest din po, no, na mga chief po ng SDO Pampanga, SGOD Chief Dr. Arcely S. Lopez and CID Chief Dr. Celia Arlacanvale. Mabuhay po kayo! Wow! And of course, this is really a breakthrough because as we can see, ang galing pala kapag we can have a virtual roundtable discussion where we share insights and of course some different opinions and policies po regarding a certain topic. And this topic is really something that is worth discussing for, especially it is not just for the leaders, but also to our nation builders, our youth, our learners. And time check, it's 4:37 in the afternoon. This is really a very productive event to all of us. And congratulations to the team management, of course, headed by our Schools Division Superintendent, Engineer Edgard C. Domingo. And it's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I would like to have an ending quotation regarding integrity. So, of course, academic honesty matters. And let's work for it. It doesn't happen overnight. Talagang dapat pinagpapaguran at we're working on it hand in hand together, and we will really prosper because success without integrity is a failure, and hopefully we will be able to craft and to really shape and hone learners to be successful with integrity. This has been your forever gorgeous this has been your host, Nariz Nicole B. Torres, saying to God be the glory. Let us enjoy this season, of course, reminiscing and being grateful to the lives of the people that were in heaven now, of course, and thanking God for the lives, the many chances, and the purpose that we have. So thank you so much, and God bless us all. Mag-iingat and mi papangadi po.